Hello my friends, we have some of the great news and let's start from the front lines where Ukraine performs the counterattack in Zaporizhzhia Oblast. Let's go to Gulaipole. I'm gonna review some of the Russian maps. Russians gave the most recent information telling that the Ukrainian army gains the ground. So this is their map, I am not making it up. Ukrainian army definitely went to Staroukrainka. Once again they show similar kind of the attack vector of Ukrainian army. Moreover, Ukraine boosts the attack towards Horky village and it is happening very close to Gulaipole itself. And this is the zoomed in image showing definitely the expansion of the gray zone. And Ukraine, well, the fight I guess is happening very close to Zaporizhzhia or maybe in the settlement itself. As for this direction, this is definitely something outstanding. Moreover, there is the counterattack vector towards Elena Konstantinovka, which is one of the settlements along this river along Gulaipole. Well, Russians recently gained some of the territories near Volshebnaya and they try to jam Ukrainian counterattack, attacking from Priluki and Zelena. Well, it seems like they're failing with this mission, and Ukraine this time may counterattack from two of the clouds. Everything is mixed, everything is boiling. But miraculously, Ukraine takes the ground. Yes, I'm pretty much surprised. I thought that with the better weather, Russia will have more of the ambitions and more of the general success on the front lines, because now in the tree lines there are leaves in the trees, and Russia may perform those infiltration attempts in a better way, not exposing their soldiers as it was during the winter time, but it seems like Russia is unable to use the current time, perfect weather actually, for gaining the ground. It seems like Ukraine is using all of that for successful missions, and Ukraine is also attacking towards Belohoria, and also there is the counterattack from Malaya Takhmachka or Mala Takhmachka, a Ukrainian settlement-castle that Russia wants to occupy on the way to Orikhiv. Well, if they are unable to take this village, there is no even questions about Orikhiv. Yeah, it's very interesting here, because 2 days ago it was definitely the Russian advantage in the southern area from Gulaipole, but now I see with this Ukrainian territorial gain, there is the big question for the Russian attack operations in general. Now they have to cope with this Russian counterstrike, sending forces from maybe this part, from Gulaipilska, Mirna and Volshebnaya, trying to stop a Ukrainian army attack which goes towards Gulaipole. And also they should take care about all of those villages, because if Ukraine crosses the river, it's gonna be a very bad situation for Russians in this entire Gulaipole area. The idea for Ukraine with this attack is to cut Russian supplies. You see there is the road ongoing, this is called T0814. The road, it's not the highway, but kind of the important road that Russia uses to go forward to Gulaipilska, Volshebnaya, and basically it's important for this entire region. So Ukraine wants to cut it near Zaporizhzhia village and take the local train station under control. Yeah, very interesting, but it's not the only success of Ukrainian army for the last 24 hours. Let's go to the same Zaporizhzhia Oblast, but different direction, close to Kamensk. Alright, Kamensk, and partially you see Mala Takhmachka is also over here, the same Orikhiv town, and this is the zoomed in image of Mala Takhmachka, where it is shown the Ukrainian counterattack. And that's the building of the local prison. Obviously, it's not working, it's been almost destroyed, but the fight for it is ongoing. Orikhiv prison colony number 88. So Russians occupied it before, but Ukraine now annihilates them over there. Maybe even using aviation strikes. And you see what is happening in Kamensk, how Ukraine performs more of the attacks, and the fight is ongoing for Mali Sherbaki, for Sherbaki, for Stepova, and already there is the threat for Kamensk itself. About Kamensk, there were multiple of the attempts of Russians to move to the settlement. They've occupied it, then retreated, then occupied again, then retreated, and this is the third time they actually took Kamensk. And now there is the threat for them, because the supply connections here across this river, they're very terrible, and for Russians it's basically a nightmare to be located here from Stepova to Kamensk and towards Sherbaki. I believe that they will not be capable to keep their forces there for a very long time. Well, Ukraine could have already deoccupied this area, but of course with the losses, so Ukraine is not in a hurry, Ukraine stays in defense, and those attacks in this direction, they're happening mostly with the drones. Yes, Ukraine sent some of the infantry towards Stepnahirsk, some of the infantry towards Sherbaki, but not that many forces. Most of the job is done by drone operators from dugouts, underground, from the basements. That's how both of the sides actually operate on the front lines using drones. But Russia also uses infantry for attacks. Ukraine just occasionally. That's why Ukraine has less losses compared to Russia. So absolutely fantastic news. If Russians are saying that the Ukrainian army is successful, it means that the Ukrainian army is definitely successful, because usually Russians, they spread their propaganda saying that they're winning, hooray. But even if they're publishing those kind of pessimistic for them maps, it means that Ukraine definitely is successful, and maybe Ukraine is even gaining more ground compared to what Russians try to show us here. Russia's winning streak in Ukraine is over, 100%. In April, Ukraine was able to liberate more territory than Russia had captured for the first time since the Kursk operation. Guys, it is unbelievable. This is just fantastic, but it is happening. Yeah, this has created a problem for Putin, who has always insisted that Russia's victory in the war is inevitable, because Russian troops continue to seize more and more territory in Ukraine and will sooner or later capture the entire Donbass. At the same time, Ukraine's recent success also associated with medium-range UAV strikes on Russian logistics, from warehouses and command posts to air defense systems. What can I say? This is a turning point. This is really decisive time for Ukraine to take this initiative. The thing that Russia is also evolving, they copy what the Ukrainian army achieved, but they don't have this technology. Ukraine has the access to Western technologies, not just Chinese, but Russians, they're quite limited. First of all, because of the sanctions. They may receive some of the goods, but not massively as before. And what led to this Russian disaster, I would call it, even on the front lines? Well, the Russian behavior itself. They rely too much on, for example, foreign component Starlink. And Russians are unable and will not be able to reproduce the same technology on their own for the next several years at least. It requires lots of the investments, billions of dollars that Russia doesn't have. Well, at least they will not spend those billions for Russian Starlink satellite program. It is understandable. Maybe sometime in the future, but I think Russia collapses before that. So not only Russia lost this ability to perform middle strikes, and for that they require internet and Starlinks, but also Russia cut its communication. Basically, Telegram. For soldiers, for commanders, it is freaking forbidden to use Telegram. If Russians themselves, like civilians, they still use Telegram a lot with VPN services, and it is very hard to ban VPNs, and we'll see if Russia will try to do it, but it's almost impossible to get rid of all of the VPNs. But officially, at the same time, soldiers are not allowed to use those VPNs, so how they communicate out there on the front lines, I'm honestly out of, but maybe unofficially they use some of the messenger, maybe Telegram too, but not as much as before, because some of the commanders, they're crazy. If they're told not to use some specific stuff, they'll tell their soldiers also not to use it because they're afraid to be punished. Russian army is not built on discipline, it is not built on technologies, it is built on fear. Well, this is interesting. Russians used the Hunger tank in one of their attacks. It was hit to the side. Let me scroll back a little. So one drone hit it on the side and exactly to the most vulnerable spot. And it was already the detonation. Look at the shock wave. Look at the ground, guys. It's all like a shock wave. So it's already kaboomed from inside. And you see kaboom and big kaboom. Finally, all of the energy went outside. Jeez. Probably the most powerful kaboom of the tank I have ever seen in this war. Nothing is left. What did they carry inside? It looks like some of the aviation FAPS 3000. Wow. Half of the field is gone. Is it a Hollywood special effects? No. Guys, this is what is happening. This is, maybe they did it for purpose. Maybe they loaded lots of the TM62 mines inside. Maybe they tried to reach Ukrainian positions with kamikaze tank or something. I have never seen that the tank would explode like that. I wonder if there was someone inside the tank. And this is a Ukrainian demining vehicle, demines the local field after Russians left. some of the smaller anti-infantry mines. There are two big mines, as you saw before. The usual job to move forward. I think that Ukraine already started the production of the remotely controlled demining vehicles. Not as big as this one. I think that this is T-64 tank modified for this purpose, but smaller drones may also do the job quite well. Alright, there was some of the information about possible provocations from Belarus side. Well, our border guards are fully ready. Ukraine also put several of the defense lines in the northern regions, like for example Chernigiv, Kyivska Oblast, Zhytomyr Oblast, Volyn. Ukraine has long border with Belarus as well, and Belarus already led to use its territory for Russian troops, so everything could be, guys, especially now that Putin is not achieving his goal in Donbass, for example, in Zaporizhzhia direction. So he might start new provocations. As Ukrainian officials say, Ukraine is ready. For now, there is no accumulation of the forces from Belarus side spotted by Ukrainian intelligence and surveillance. And Russians shared those kind of the images from Avdiivka, which has been occupied a long time ago. It is far already behind the front lines. Nevertheless, Ukraine with its middle strikes demolishes Russian logistics. One of the Ural trucks was hit and they put sad music and shared it online. Alright. There are multiple of those trucks which are being annihilated by Ukrainian middle strikes, especially in Mariupol. The French foreign minister says that Russia is gradually losing control on the African continent, despite the Kremlin's attempts to strengthen its influence there through political and military tools. Even in Mali, Russians lost several of the cities, together with the local junta government. In Paris, they believe that such strategy is unsustainable, so Russia's influence in Africa will continue to weaken over time. I also believe in that. Russian influence is weakening not just in Africa, but also in ex-Soviet countries. Like, for example, look at Armenia. Armenia is in full opposition towards Russia now, and Russia cannot do anything with Armenia. They don't have common border. It is also a good thing. Nevertheless, Russia still has its military base in Armenia. Well, I think just temporary. Right, guys, that's it for today, and please support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below. Or support me on membership of the channel by pressing button join somewhere here if you watch me on YouTube. My friends, only with your support my job is possible, so it is very important. Yeah, obviously if you can, you may support this channel. I'm not like begging for something, but it really helps for me to record videos. Sometimes 2 times per day, sometimes each day, depends, yeah, on news, on everything, but you motivate me quite a lot. Basically, you employ me for this job. So thank you guys, you're awesome, you are the best. And also, don't forget to press like to this video and subscribe for the channel because it matters a lot. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.